Good evening, everyone. Here again for another stream. Gonna be doing some more gunpla building this evening. Some a little different from usual. Some will probably get through quite a bit quicker. Just give me one moment here where I check something. Cool. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining me this evening. Back at the model building table, as you can see. I did change around my models, as you can see. Now every model on this desk is something I've built on stream. So that's something I'm actually pretty happy with. I put the Buster Gundam, which is the most recent one, I put him where the heavy arms was. Kind of changed the position of a couple of them around. But yeah, tonight, what we're going to be doing... make sure I can see it still. HG Shenlong Gundam. So this is their high grade line, which is kind of, it isn't their lowest line. They have like a grade called entry grade that's supposed to be even simpler than this. But this is essentially, from my understanding at least, maybe someone can correct me, this is kind of their bread and butter kit for a long time. Because they started making the like much more complex ones later. Their first kits were all like this size and this complexity. But yeah, it should be, as I said, I showed you the comparison between the Evangelion Unit 2's their cockpit and the Gundam cockpit, so that's not really a good judge for scale. But it should be roughly about 1/144, which that is kind of. That one's a little bigger, but as I said, that one's not actually scale with the actual mech where these are supposed to be. But yeah, get this light on and get right into it. Downward. Nice. Yeah, oh, can I put this on? Did that help at all? Maybe. There's a little bit of shadow right here, but... yeah, I guess one thing I can show off. I got the Buster Gundam's bits transferred over a cup. So now we have the 4 cups for the 4 models on the desk. Actually, get some focus here. I guess it being shiny is probably not the best for focus, but... welcome, Storyteller! Came just in time. I was showing off the bit cups. Yeah, this is the one from the most recent Buster Gundam that I have now on this stand right here. And the most bits probably of any of them so far, the RG Evangelion. Then the Master Grade Shenlong and the Master Grade Death Scythe. Yeah, got a pretty good collection of them now. Really should come to a solid conclusion on what I want to do with those soon. Let's put those back over their display spot. Yeah, we got a nice clean cup here for today's build, even though there should be very few bits, because as you'll see when I open this thing up, there's very few actual sprues in this compared to the Master Grade kits. Yeah. Much thinner instruction manual. Oh, is it actually? Oh, it's like a full fold-out one, rather than a booklet. And yeah, 2 colored sprues. 3 gray sprues and 2 white sprues. That's it. Some stickers we probably will not use. Maybe on the dragon head, just so it doesn't look dumb. I think I'll probably end up painting that dragon head. So see how much of a pain it is to get at after. It looks like I can remove it fairly easily after. I might put it on just to see what it looks like. But yeah, this is gonna be our build for tonight. I hope you're having a good evening there, Storyteller. Thanks for joining me once again. Ugh. I had a lot of trouble sleeping last night, so I was kind of a zombie most of today. wasn't too bad, but I wasn't nearly as productive as I wanted to be. Let's get some organization here. I guess since it's so easy, I can just do it by colors. Whites, colors over the grays, right there. Yeah, this is nice and clean. Yep. Oh well. I said I plan to be pretty productive the next couple days to get ready for next week. I gotta think about the format, how I'm gonna do that, because I have some of the Armored Core mechs here from the game. So I want to play the game and build the mechs in one stream. So it'll probably be 2 hours of one or 2 hours of the other. I'm just not quite, I haven't decided which one I want to do first. I might lead with the game and then go into the kit. Because that way we have kind of see what I'm going to be building. I'll be able to judge it better once I have I'm actually not sure how long those kits will take. I actually haven't even opened the box to look at the pieces to see how complex they are. Yeah, I guess we'll do this one by the book and just follow the guy from 1 to on. And that is one thing to note about this kit, is it is actually a very new kit. It's from 2022, which so far is the newest kit I've done. I think the only other one, I think this Evangelion might have been 2022, but it might have been 2019. Let me look at that real quick. Evangelion was 2020. Yeah, so this is the newest kit I've done now. Because that was the newest one in 2020. This is 2022. This is a very, very new kit. But that's kind of also why I picked it up. Because I've never done one of these high grades. As I mentioned, the very first gunpla I ever built were a couple high grade Gundams. When I was a lot younger. And I wasn't. They were cool, but they definitely were very fragile compared to action figures back then. And they weren't super postable, I remember. Like, they had a really hard time holding their arms up and stuff. So I'm hoping, like, the newer model kits will have a lot of that stuff fixed. Which I imagine they will. I've heard good things about modern high-grade kits. But now I can actually find out for myself. I'm guessing this color one is A1? A1, okay. Yeah, color 2. $15. Yeah, finishing Oblivion last night was a lot of fun. I'm glad that actually worked out pretty much perfectly. This is the perfect amount of time for one stream to finish going through it. And yeah, as I mentioned during the stream, I'm really glad I did go and get enchanting done first. Because I would have had a lot harder time going through that story if I didn't have enchanting. I could feel it whenever my sword ran out of charge. Everything became way slower and sloggier. Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing Armored Core next week. It's a game I really enjoyed playing. And I actually got really into the PvP when I played it before, so I'm really kind of anticipating jumping into that as well. Against the NPCs is one thing, but the NPCs have very predictable behavior. Real people act very erratically and can try and fake you out a lot of times, so it's really interesting. the like mind games of it become way more important when you're playing against other people. Just like timing when you're going to go for certain actions. Or is it literally just reactionary when you're playing against the NPCs? You know to do it when they do this certain thing. Not that it's necessarily all that different of what you do against a real person, but the real person can also just be indecisive. It should be a good time. It's a shame all the previous games are like spread over so many different platforms. I played the hell out of Armored Core 2 on the PS2. It was probably one of my most played games on that platform. I played a lot of games on that platform. And I think the only other one besides that I really touched was 4 and 4 Answer on the Xbox 360. How do these go in? Okay, there's these little holes in the corner. Okay. Oh man, yeah. I can already kind of see there's a lot less complexity to like this joint mechanism. Like on those master grade models, there's like 2 to 3 different axes of movement. So the joint on the shoulder, this shoulder joint part, and on this, it's literally just a peg in a hole. It's going to swing back and forth. Yeah, okay. I see where they save on complexity here. Still, if it does the job, it's nothing really to complain about. 13. We'll see how well it does the job. And no matter what, it's like it's a very cheap kit. Like this was, I think this kit was $24. As I said, it's brand new, so I imagine it's gonna drop in price eventually. But do you know what you get for like $24 a Lego? It's not this, nowhere near this. The plastic building toy difference between these and a lot of what we have in North America, pretty stark in terms of like value. Yeah, it's insane. Even less if it's like what branded one. It's from Marvel or some series, which is most of the ones you actually care about now are, unfortunately. I know they have those like art piece sets. Those seem neat. I don't hate the idea of those. Where the actual object you're building is just like a mundane object, but it's intended to be displayed kind of like an art piece. So it usually has like artistic flares in how it's constructed. It's neat. I think they basically had like a plant series where it was like a cactus and succulents, a bunch of different basically like house plants that you built out of Lego. But they all had like really neat like artistic flares to them. I don't know. I was always a Connects kid. Lego was expensive. The Next definitely seemed like it was a better value. Some of these nubs. Plus, Connects always seemed like it. They had this thing where like the things you built, like I, especially as a kid, like I made a shit ton of like daggers and swords and other stuff out of Connects. Whereas if you try to do that with Lego, it never turned out any good. The only thing Lego really got good for is when they came out with like all the like PC interface stuff for some of their motors. You could make fucking battle bots out of Lego. Those are pretty cool. But K'NEX had that too. Just Legos was way better. Legos actually had like proper programming language and shit in their editor. Or not even, it wasn't even a proper programming language itself, but their like terminology and stuff was basically programming. It's neat. Whereas K'NEX definitely was not that. K'NEX was like, connect these blocks, which I guess like on a high level is what programming is, but Lego actually had you like naming variables and stuff. Oh, I think it's, yeah. Yeah, I think that was the Mindscapes. Was like the first product they had with that PC interface stuff. I think it's one I had when I was a kid. Arrow on top, pointing out. Top here. Is this the torso joint? Yeah, it is. It's like the midway. Oh, okay. This is how they simplified the like abdomen part. Interesting. This goes on the bottom. That appears to be correct. A14. Yeah, this has actually already completely been worth picking this up just to see how they do things differently at a much lower, much higher like simplicity, much lower complexity, higher simplicity. There we go. I have the two things going side by side in my brain. Like I said, I'm not a wasn't a super huge fan of them back there because they were kind of like clunky, not superposable. I hope this one's a little bit better. But also I can already tell it's not going to be nearly as posable just from how the joints move. But as long as I can get some cool poses out of it, I'll care. It's not like I'm going to be like playing with them like I was back then. Like back then I still played with my toys. Now I just put them in cool poses and put them on a shelf somewhere. Oh, already from the box I can tell, like just with that extending, like this picture right here where he has this extending arm. I'm assuming they're not lying to me by posing it like that, so. That actually helped me like get this Buster Gundam into this pose, because I actually have a really hard time with this specific configuration on him, getting his arms and these mechanical lift arms I showed before in the right position. But I actually had to like go look at the manual and look, because they had him in this pose in the manual, and I had to look at how the arms were actually positioned on that to get a sense of how I needed to do it. What's going on here? Oh, okay. Let's see. That's fine. My coffee. Shoulder joints came out. Those aren't in there very snugly right now. They must need the pressure from the other side to actually stay in place very well. See that? Yeah, there's a lot of play in that hole. Probably 4 extra posability. Probably the other piece when it gets puts on and squishes it in and keeps it in place better. Yeah. Yeah, so that's how they achieve the like inner torso effect. Is just a rock back and forth like that. Whereas I don't want to take one of these guys off these stands. Let me grab one of the ones I have in storage. Grab specifically the one I just put in storage. The first time I've actually had one of these models I'm not displaying. Let's take this off. Oh, bring this guy over so we can show how the part works differently on the master grade. Yeah, on the master grade, this part doesn't actually have any movement in it on itself. So this might actually have a slightly wider range of motion on the torso for going stuff like this. This one just has a ball joint on the bottom that's slightly is slightly longer than the socket it goes into, so it has a little back and forth play on it. That's how it achieves the effect of the master grade model. But on this one, it achieves it with a straight like pin and socket that just rocks back and forth like this. Interesting. Yeah, I'm just gonna set him aside so you can compare stuff as we go. Yeah, and obviously the shoulder joint in here on this one, you can see it's actually a part that comes out and then rotates up and down. Yeah, there we go. It can rotate like this, but it also has movement like this. Whereas this shoulder joint here basically only has, let me get inserted properly. Only has like up and down movement like this. Yeah, this is kind of why I wanted to pick up different grades of these models, is to try and see the differences. Like those real grade models actually had slightly like different ways to do things, but it was equally complex. Whereas this definitely is much more simple. But I'm interested to see what the results are. Yeah, let's keep going. I suppose probably a better example would be using the actual other Shenlong I have, but I don't want to take him off the stand. Be a little bit of a pain to get him back on the stand and back in the pose. It's not too bad, honestly, but if I have an extra model on hand, I might as well use that. Anything else here? Another PC. Yeah, and I noticed a lot of the joint pieces are entirely made of this soft plastic, whereas a lot of it looks like it's the same as the master grade models for the arms and legs, where essentially it's just a socket, and then the actual moving parts are hard plastic. But on these, it seems a lot of them is the entire, like this neck joint specifically is all of that soft plastic, whereas on these ones, I'm almost positive it's a hard plastic. Oh yeah, I just completely disintegrated his head. Pulled it wrong. Oh, it's unfortunate. Oh well. Fix that on another plate. Not gonna bother with it right now. But yeah, as you can see, yeah, it is a hard plastic piece there for the neck joint. So probably a little less durable, but maybe get a bit more posability out of it. Okay, let me just make sure. Go ahead. There. Yeah, just came off that earpiece. Okay, and actually, I thought something broke off it, but no, nothing. Everything is intact, so that should be easy putting that together. Yeah, as you said, some of these models have a disclaimer being like basically, I think the term a lot of people use is plastic hand grenades, because they just have it. They put pressure on them in the wrong spot at the wrong point, they just blow to pieces. Most modern kits don't have that problem. It's mostly a like coming of age thing they had for a while. But as you can see, it's still, you just have to put pressure on into the wrong place. Most of the time, you just got to keep in mind where the actual joints are. Usually, I only have that problem now when I was doing what I was doing there, where I'm actually trying to take it apart rather than just move the pieces for pose. There you go. Which way does this go in? Oh, it's very dark. Oh. What are you trying to tell me? Instruction manual? I mean, pay attention to the... Oh, okay, it has a flat and a slope side. And it wants me to make sure I put the slope side to the front. Gotcha. That's weird. That's an interesting neck construction. A160. It's... We'll see how it actually is when it goes together. Or I can actually make a call on it, I guess. So right now it seems simpler for no real reason. It seems like the way that these do the neck wings would work just as well, but I guess it would require more, yeah, it would require more support pieces in the chest to do it that way. So maybe that's certainly why. Trying to keep the actual construction of these pieces simple so they can keep the cost down. Or now I think it's the other side for the shoulder pieces. We can get those in there. There we go. Oh no. Oh, there we go. Back. There we go. Shoulder pieces back in there. The other side on. Right Rotation this, right? Looks like it. Yeah. So yeah, that's the mechanical construction of the interior essentially. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pieces altogether. I'm pretty sure this thing was. This thing has the this. One thing you might have noticed is absent from this that these master grades have is they have the. I'm easy to get at when I open this. They have the little pilot compartment and crew capsule inside, which this doesn't even attempt to do. So that. Yeah, it's probably actually not that many pieces less. It's just way simpler construction pieces. They do a lot more like interlocking pieces and overlapping pieces, whereas this pretty much seems to be a couple solid pieces held together. Joints. Go and get some of the armor on here. A15. A1s 4 and 7. And now that I think about it, probably once I actually do have this all put together, I probably will take that other Shenlong off so we can compare the different design. There's other design elements on these that should be slightly different. See how many, like the body shape stuff is different. Beyond it just being a different grade. Man, Butterfingers at the start of every one of these streams usually. There, so I can blow some of this little plastic waste out of here. interesting. He says like two slots on either side, and it like goes in and slides up. Huh. There's a little flex there, I guess. Open down. Oh, chest plates. I don't really understand why this peg is here. Guess maybe I'll learn someday. Maybe just keep that range of motion of that front piece to a certain degree. No idea. It didn't really seem like there was a socket for it here, but maybe there wasn't this red piece and I just didn't really notice. It is on there pretty good now. Oh, okay, yeah, it's I see. It's basically in a like rail on the inside. So when I move the waist, it moves forward. When I move the waist forward and back, it goes up and down on that rail. That's why. Okay, cool. Well, that's a bit more than flexibility than I thought. For how simple it is. Neat, neat, neat. Yeah, there's the chest. But as you can see, significantly smaller. It'll be even more obvious when it's with the actual same model, but yeah, you can really tell. It's like almost a third smaller. Yeah, head time. This isn't too painful on my fingies. I'm gonna take this pretty slow because our head's usually where I have. There's a lot of small parts, so it's usually where I spend the most time looking for small parts. I'm gonna try and avoid that as much as possible. So those animations you sent me, sorry, those you said were made in Canva. That was the. Is that an app or is that a website? Wait, plastic cuts really smooth. Okay. Yeah, I'd never heard of that before. Is it free or have like a free version? Okay, cool. I'll probably check that out. So, yeah, I said I'm not. I don't think I'll probably end up using like all the gauges and stuff. I don't really want to be too busy, but I wouldn't mind like just a little bit of movement here and there. Probably end up just doing like the yeah, either that or some type of like strobing light effect. But I am really enjoying doing a lot of the like making my emotes and stuff, and learning to do that. So it's definitely something I want to try and look into. I thought about it and it's like, oh, what I learned about my video editing software when I was making that clip. There was a bunch of like other tutorials in there about other stuff you could do that I watched while I was there, and a couple channels that were good. And from the other stuff from that, I was like, oh, I could probably make an animation like that in my video editing software, not too bit hard. I say that without having tried it as a disclaimer. It could, in fact, be very hard. Hard for me, but yeah, I guess it is very vain to say, I guess, without having even tried it. Okay, cool. Definitely check that out then. Yeah, for just little simple animations like that, having something I could whip out, make those up, because it would be quite involved doing my video editing software. So that one would be simpler. That'd be nice. Check it out. Yeah, like a lot of this, like on the master grade models, this face piece essentially is usually like two different pieces for this mouthpiece. This side fins one piece. This side fins one piece. This head cap is usually two pieces put together side by side. This assembly on top is usually an interior piece and an exterior piece on top. So like, I can see well where they get a lot of the simplification from is in stuff like this. There's a lot less depth of detail just from multiple parts overlapping. They replace it with just actually really good detail on the part itself. So this doesn't look bad by any means. Undergated? Oh, no, it's not. Just leave that piece on like that, okay. Looks like an undergate, but apparently it's actually how the detail's supposed to look. Hmm. Those eyes look pretty good. Oh, that's really together, isn't it? Hmm. Well, don't really want to see how hard this would be to get it forward. Oh no, it's coming actually pretty easily. Just hard to get a grip because it's all smooth. Yeah, they'll have it. Coming, slowly but surely, it's coming. Go back and forth each side, working it. Goes. Okay, stickers. This looks bad without it, because it's just this red color, whereas on these ones it's like a clear color that, yeah, as you can see, it's like a clear color, so it doesn't look awful even without the sticker. Whereas this is just this plain red that looks really bad. Oh, I had someone give me a tip the other day. Be right back. I ended up rating someone and watching a bit of their stream, and they gave me a tip for applying stickers. I'm gonna try using toothpicks. Apparently, it's supposed to be pretty good for it. Oh, let me snip one end. Flatten it, round it down. There we go. Yeah, blunt it down nicely. Yeah, you can basically use the pointy end for getting the sticker onto the piece. Apparently it's pretty good at sticking to the plastic better than the toothpick. So if you Apply it on the toothpick, and then apply it to the piece. It'll stick to the piece, but not the toothpick. So what's the right piece, right? One, yep. Actually, let me take this piece off here. Probably make it even easier. Actually, no, this gives me something I can actually grip, so this isn't bad. Not the best, not the worst. Just apply it in on the contours. Okay, now let's see what that looks like when I put the faceplate back on it. It's gonna look better, isn't it? I'm gonna be annoyed. That most certainly, you can't see it all, but that most certainly does not look better. It's not the worst though. It's better than it was. It is better than it was. It doesn't look super good. So I'd be justified not generally doing stickers, but I'm gonna leave this one on. Because it's actually set to small detail that you gotta get like right up on it to actually see it. So it's at least not, before you could see the bright red really easily and it was really jarring. Because it was just a line of light red rather than two eyes. This way it's all dark. When you get close you can at least see green where the eyes would be. So I'm gonna say that was a successful adventure. Well, maintaining, I still don't really like stickers. Anything else to this head? Oh, that's it. Okay. There we go. Actually, let me get this piece back together real quick. See, I didn't want to bother with it earlier because I thought I had actually broken a piece and needed to glue it. It's not the case. Yeah. Much smaller. Jesus, this is actually, side by side, it's kind of scary how small this is in comparison. It's so tiny in my hands. Number 3 is the dragon arm, so I'm actually gonna leave that for like last. Let's do the other arm. Yeah, it's like cute almost. D2. And 17 for the next page. Goes out now. 17. Lines? 19, 17. Okay, right. Was in fact blind. C is one of these, right? Yeah. C2. Still pretty colorful. One thing I kind of expected from the low-grade marbles is kind of be a little less color, but so far it's been pretty good. It's definitely more big blocks of color than these ones that have a lot more smaller detail colors. But it isn't too bad. Vents, shoulders. Oh, okay, that's for detail pieces later. I see. Huh. Oh, still a huge nub on there. That's nub. Oh. Oh, they're cutout stickers with. Oh, there's no way it's gonna look good. They're like round stickers. They have a little slice taken out of them so they'll fit well on these rounded surfaces. No, there's no way I can make that look good. There is, but I don't really want to try. Things like that will look really cheap with that line through the middle of it. I guess the type of green is going to be on my color list for paints I pick up. Oh, might try it just to... Wait! Are you serious? It only comes with 2 of these green circles, despite that there's a back and front on both shoulders. So there's technically 4 of those on the model, but they only give you stickers for 2 of them, the front ones. So from the back, they won't be colored anyway. Just notice that. So if half of it's going to be uncolored anyway, I'm just going to leave it that all uncolored. Oh, the peg for the shoulders. Oh, the arm's actually built into the shoulder. On these high-grade models, the shoulder basically has a little collar that goes around the arm joint. The arm's not actually part of the shoulder at all. It's an independent part. That the shoulder is also independent and go up like here and down here. Whereas this one, the arm joint's actually built into the shoulder, and then the shoulder connects to the model. Another way it's different. I'm just noting these differences mostly just to note them. I'm not actually complaining at all in any way, shape, or form. So as I said, this is how they keep the cost down and make it so it's like a $20 kit compared to like a $70, $80 kit. Or I guess these ones are like 50. Yeah, this detail piece is all one piece going around it. That's actually pretty smart. A lot of the ones on these films, they use like 2 or 3 different pieces to get the color. Whereas this one is just one big piece that goes all the way around. Just, oh, there it is. Time for that rounded piece of toothpick I made. Nice. Shoulder. E1, yes. 589. Okay, these are like all in one joint, piece joints. Oh, so. And the stoppers built into them as a single piece. But still, it's pretty good movability. Oh my god, it's so small. I just realized this is the like elbow. So this is the top and bottom part of the arm. Well, it's so much smaller and simpler. They don't even try and make the interior look like the mechanical pieces either. I noticed that. On this one, they do a good job of like having a lot of detailed stuff on where'd that arm. I just realized he's missing his missile racks. Where did those go? Must have. Oh, that must still be in the box. Must have came off when I was taking them out of the box. There's no way something that big would have gone flying without me seeing it. But yeah, you can kind of see on the interior they do a little better job of like making it look like mechanical parts that interact with it. You can have sliding parts. Two exterior parts. 5.6. Oh, 8.2. It's this one. Yeah, that was the arm. The T2. So much simpler. It still has, well, it still has quite a bit of range of motion for how much. That actually has. I don't think these master grades can do this. Where it has like the top part of the elbow joint goes backwards while the front one's still forward. Yeah, let me take a closer look here. Get the shield off here. Yeah, because it has like a stopper. It can only go like 180 degrees. Won't go any farther back than that. So it has good range of motion to the front, but you can only go back to like straight. Like that's as far back as that arm can go. Whereas on this one, you can actually go like all the way back that much. And then that allows you to bend the other elbow joint and kind of get like a more compact. That's actually better than on the master grade model. I bet you the old high grades didn't have anything like that. Weren't like this. I bet the old high grades were like this. That's cool. That's the first thing we found that's probably objectively better. Definitely looks worse. Obviously, it doesn't look nearly as nice and detailed as this, but it's not like this looks great either. It's just not as bland as this, but the range of motion is actually crazy. Well, I actually much prefer this because this Buster Gundam, getting these arms on specifically like this was a pain because you had to find the perfect position because these had the same issue where if the top elbow joint here could do the same thing this elbow joint is doing, this would be so much easier to pose. Which hand do I need for the weapon? And these ones are in color because they're on the color side of the sheet. So you get color instructions. Okay, so apparently it is that one. Okay. E1 29 and 30. Gray backing plate on the hand. What about that? I mean, the whole hand's going to be the same gray color. I guess it doesn't really matter, but 30. And these hands are definitely a lot simpler too. Yeah, this has absolutely been worth it to try and do one of these high grade kits just to see the differences. Now I really want to get like a old high grade kit and see what it was like. As I said, this is the newest kit I've ever put together so far. Only like a year old. Oh, okay. And rather than having the master grades usually have when they hold stuff, they have a little slot in the here, and it's open on one side. So whatever you or not slot, a peg here, and it's open on one side. So whatever item you have has a slot in it. You basically put the handle in and then slide it onto the peg. And that's how it holds it. Whereas this, it's just a hole straight through that you're probably going to slide whatever weapon it is or handle is in. Oh, tiny, tiny, tiny. Hope when we get the legs on there, it'll look less awkward. Let's sweep up a bit here. Sure, not losing any nibs. Good. Coffee done. So just check something here. Okay. Jeez. 2 and 3. Got my first solo win today in Night Rain. Been playing that on and off. Mostly he's been sticking to playing it solo though. So as I mentioned before, I kind of want to play that with a group of people that I can have in voice chat. It seems the best way to play that. Trying not to burn myself out too much too early. But still been doing a solo game here and there. Usually I get my ass kicked, but managed to win one. And as I mentioned before, there I am leaving the like dragon arm on this thing to last. 'Cause that's absolutely the whole reason I picked up this kit in particular, is to get that extended dragon arm. That's going to be the finishing touch. Expectedly, the front armor skirts are all a single piece rather than being multiple skirts. I expected that. Oh wait, I need one more piece here too, didn't I? Yeah, D1. Good. $15.60. Pelvis, pelvis, pelvis. Here's where it should be interesting to see how they do the hip joints differently. 60. I was thinking about. Okay, I have a clue from looking at this piece how it's going to work. I bet you the hip pieces are going to be ball joints on with a flange, and the flange will slide into this slot. The ball joint will stick out here. I bet that's how it's going to do it. Oh, absolutely. And as I said, there are actually one. These didn't exist when I was a kid, but now apparently there's one step below these called entry grade, where it's even simpler. Yeah, this is what these are really intended for, is to be basically like fairly quick little kits for kids. Then basically the people who did them as kids grew up and they started just making more and more expensive and more complex versions of them. Yeah, but my understanding, those like entry grade kits are that they're pretty much only they're simple to the point where it pretty much would be only really interested in kids. People who are kind of interested in this side of things wouldn't be super interested. But I've heard they are good. Like if you wanted to test out your posing skills, or if you're doing like custom work on models, they're good practice kits for stuff like that because they're even cheaper than these. I heard those usually are like I think like 10-15 bucks. Oh, I was wrong. This is what the hip joint is. It goes around and sits in the middle. Okay. B1s 14. Yeah, and I probably won't end up doing too many of these high grades unless ones really pop out that catch my eyes. Because as I said, I kind of enjoy it being more of a process to get everything put together, so I don't mind doing it over multiple sessions. Whereas one and kind of doing it down in one session and getting them all kit for I don't know, especially with this size. Like this size isn't super gonna be impressive displaying. It might be nicer like background stuff. Yeah, definitely the shorter build time is kind of a negative to it in my eyes. For me, that is obviously. For a kid, it probably would be a huge plus because it would actually get their attention. Rather than be something they get bored with because it takes too long to do. Big old butt plate. But okay. So rather than attaching to the front, it's actually held in place by this piece on the front. Swings up down there. The back plate swings up and down there. But also where the hip joint is mounted, this piece can go up and down like this. That's actually a neat little movement. That'll give it a bit more posability. It'll probably be, it'll depend on how much the front of the chest piece actually bumps into the front of this part. Here's how much it actually gets. Yeah, that's the waist. Oh yeah, still gets quite a bit. That's more posability than this guy has in the waist. Like, he can't lean forward that much. So that's actually another point for flexibility on these little kits. Yeah, like this, that amount of movement's greater than the other model can. Pretty neat, actually, in some ways. Yeah, it's true. It's really, well, it comes down to, like, it's just, like, a lot of the things that limits the posability on this stuff isn't necessarily that the joint can't make the posability. It's that there's other parts that interrupt it. Like this arm part, I think this joint could technically keep going back, but because they wanted to have this kind of interlocking effect for the upper arm and the elbow, it stops it from going in. So it's like a lot of the limits and posabilities these higher grade models have is in sake of actually like a design choice to make it look more interconnected. I found, at least that's what I've noticed where the extra posability is. Because this extra posability here is just because this armor doesn't extend down far enough to stop that elbow joint from going up. And that does look unnatural. Like, that looks weird. Yeah, should have time to do one more of these legs. Actually, let's get this backpack on him. And then we'll go for my break. That's good. Then we'll come back, do the legs, the dragon arm, and then... yeah, I'll probably get his weapon and shield on before the dragon arm. Even that dragon arm is going to be the grand finale. 17, 18. One more piece for that one. Cool. Oh, 8-2. This one. Oh, B212 and B112. I was wondering why there's only 112 of the sheet. It's because it's on the other sheet. Sprue. Let's took that word from me. Booster pack, booster pack. That's for holding stave. Go. Go back. Very nice. Oh yeah, let's see where we're at. What do we have left? Cool, cool. Sorry, I was just peeking ahead and seeing what some of the stuff it was advertising at the end was. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go and take my break right now. Then when we come back, we'll get the legs, the weapons, the shield, most importantly, a nice little extending dragon arm. Yeah, hope you'll join me when we get back. See you all in about 10 minutes. I am back. Welcome back, everyone. Let's get the legs on this guy. Coffee refilled. Finish this guy up. Second here. Oh, mouse escaped the screen. Hey, there we go. So where are we starting here? PC 7. Start with the feet, it looks like. Go ahead a couple steps. Recut some pieces so I can clean them all at once. Hey, thanks for the raid, Maze. Welcome, welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining me. I was working on a little high-grade Gundam model. Welcome, Whiskey. Once again, thanks for the raid. Welcome, welcome. Just about halfway done on this guy. Usually do a much bigger model kits. These are the master grade Gundam kits. That's what I usually made. That's pretty much what all of these guys are here. But I decided to try and get one of the cheaper, smaller, high grade models just to try and see the differences. It's been pretty interesting so far. Yeah, I actually mentioned at the start of the stream, I've actually got it now so that every model on my desk right now, this guy not counting, he was on my desk and I just recently took him off, but all the models on my desk now are models I've done and built on stream. So I'm actually pretty happy about that. Yeah, just in the process of getting the legs together to put on this guy. Yeah, it's been interesting. I mentioned these guys are like, this kit was probably about half of what this kit costs, and it's obviously a lot less complex. Like overall, there's a lot more just big pieces making up all the pieces rather than building them up from small pieces. But it's kind of interesting because of how they kind of simplified the construction. There's actually parts like how this waist piece moves side to side and forward and back. It actually has a bit more movement than this big kit actually has in that same region. Like that big kit actually doesn't have a whole lot of movement in that area. So even though it's a much simpler kit and a much cheaper kit, it actually has like slightly better posability in spots. Comparing it to the other kit has actually been really fascinating. That's part of why I picked it up, just to kind of figure out how it's different. It is worth noting too that this kit is very new. This is like a 2022 kit, whereas all of these guys are from like early 2010s. So that might have something to do with it. Maybe a like modern one of the version of these kits, or the master grade kit, has better posability like this one. I'm not 100% on that just yet, but so far it's been neat. What were you working on tonight, Mace? I didn't get a chance to peek at what you were doing. Oh, absolutely. I had mentioned probably the next, if I'm going to do another one of these high-grade kits, I'm probably going to try and find an old one and see how that is. Dice bag, nice! Hope that was enriching? That's the word I'm looking for, I guess. Satisfying, enriching, somewhere there. Yeah, it's the one downside with the small kit is because it's a small kit with a lot less pieces, I'm definitely going through it a lot quicker. So I'm kind of losing the, like, journey a little bit. Pink. Nice boob. That's on brand. Oh, I meant to cut out one more of those pieces. Oh, it's better than, there was that trend going around a year or two ago. Oh, thanks for the subscription, Jaster. I really appreciate that. Oh, I think that's my first hype train too. Oh, Maze, thank you. Thank you both. Welcome, chaps. How's Warframe been going? Oh, thanks, guys. As I said, I kind of got really surprised I got affiliate because they changed the requirements for it, so they moved the goalposts behind me, kind of. But I'm not gonna complain too much. Hell yeah. Yeah, but because of that, a lot of the stuff I have planned for affiliate wasn't ready yet because I thought I had a couple more weeks to work on it. So I'm gonna try and get most of my emotes and like point challenges figured out and all ready for Tuesday. I'm gonna be starting to do my Armored Core playthrough, where I'm gonna be playing through Armored Core 6 and building I have a 3 models that are mechs from the game. So I'm gonna be playing through the game and building the mechs from the game at the same time. I'm planning to kind of do that as my celebration for hitting affiliate. So I'm going to be starting that on Tuesday and kind of making that my celebration stream for affiliate. So I hope you guys can stop by if you have some time. Yeah. Working on emotes has actually been fun. I've been trying to do as much of it as by myself as possible, but Storyteller actually helped a lot by giving me a couple little art bits to use. I've been doing what I can. I don't know if the second one has gotten approved yet. I haven't looked. Oh, for sure she is. There's no truer statement than that. Yeah, it's been, yeah, she's been hanging out in the chat quite a bit, so it's been great bouncing ideas for stuff I'm going to be doing for stream offer. Hell yeah. Yeah, I think the only one I got in there right now is the mod bonk. Sadly enough, I haven't had a bot show up since I put it in there, so I haven't had an opportunity to use it. Nerd Village? Okay. Assuming that's an in-joke of some kind. Oh, that went sideways. Showing them off. Those are cute. Is that a beaker? We did right. Yeah. Yep. We did right. Yep. Guys are needing notes. I gotta work on some animated ones too. All the stuff I've been doing has been static, so I gotta try and add some animations to my repertoire. Oh, okay. Oh, I imagine those were adorable. I'll have to go check out some pictures of those somewhere. Oh. Soft plastic pieces are always really slippery, especially when my hands start getting a little sweaty. That hurts. Yeah, I mentioned in a couple previous streams now that getting into doing these Gundams and streams made me really give me an itch to get into more like creative stuff. So I'm definitely planning to pick up some acrylic paints and try and add some painting on these guys to my repertoire for detailing. I think that's probably going to be my next step. And obviously, learning photo editing software and video editing software has been great too. I've actually been sinking a ton of time into that over the last couple of days. How does this go on? Yeah, they make paints specifically for these models, but they're like crazy expensive. And from my understanding, they also have like a bunch of like surface texture additives and like sealant additives in them. that make it so you can't just like thin it with water. You have to use specific chemical thinners, and it's like I'm just gonna go to the craft store and get some plain acrylic paint I can thin with water. At least while I'm learning. Maybe once I actually get once my actual technique at painting isn't the limiting factor, maybe then I'll look at the better paints. But oh, absolutely, Maze. Thank you very much for stopping by, and thanks to the raid, and thanks to the subscription. Thank you for everything. I hope you have a great sleep and a great rest of your week. Let's just go on instruction manual. Okay, that piece sticks out. It's just really small. Oh, nice. Much appreciated. I don't know if you're still here, Jaster. Have you decided whether you're going to get Night Rain yet or not? I'm starting to get itchy about playing that. I got my first solo win on that today. Pretty intense and fun. But I'm starting to get itchy about playing it more. So I think I want to try and start bugging Shuts about it more and see if we can't get the group together. It's a very different game than Elden Ring, but it's very fast-paced, which is nice. Like, I definitely feel like I can get a really satisfying gameplay loop out of playing it for like half an hour, 45 minutes, whereas with Elden Ring, that didn't tend to be the case. Elden Ring didn't really feel satisfying unless you had a couple hours put into it. At least in my personal experience. My most satisfying times playing that were the long play sessions. Yeah. That might be what I do for my weekend stream. But as I said, I've also been having a lot of fun playing Lone Star. So I might start my like roguelike weekend slot to do that. Look for a deep. On this one as well. So far the feet pretty much seem the same. There's like a slight difference. Like, I think the feet usually kind of build out from the arch a little bit on the master grade models. This just seems very much like it's just the toe and the heel or the entire foot assembly. But in terms of like how much posability and like pieces it has, it seems like it should be pretty similar. Well, I'm screwing up this cleaning job pretty bad. It's interesting to you can kind of feel the difference in the like different colors of plastic. 'Cause the white definitely seems to cut a lot smoother than all the other colors. Wonder if it's something to do with the dye additives they use. I know some of the different sprues are different colors, but as far as I remember, these two are from the same. Oh, no, white's a different sprue. Entirely from the color sprue on this one. So that might explain it. It could be a different plastic. It doesn't say. Okay. So you kind of just build the toe on top of the heel, or the heel's in the middle of the toe. I see. It's a smart way to do it. And this plate covers it, locks it in. Yeah, that's definitely simpler, but that's a good way to do it, actually. It gets the same range of motion up and down at the middle. The only difference is the leg part is directly mounted to the heel rather than to an arch in between. Yeah, because this one, it has an arch part in the middle, and then the toe and the heel are built onto that arch part. And the arch part is where it hooks up to the ankle. But in this one, there is no arch part, it's just on the heel itself. Looks good. Definitely smaller. That's a good lineup of difference in size. Ankle top. Except, oh, okay, it looks different because it's from the side. I see. Where does these go in? Sloped up. Okay. Ankles. Definitely notice it uses more of this. Almost all the connections between like the foot and the stuff is either a ball joint or a round peg. I've noticed this kit uses a lot more like thin square pegs that are pretty long. There's not many of these big kits, but I think that's because the higher weight of the kit might make pieces of this more susceptible to snapping, whereas this stuff seems light enough that maybe they're not as worried about it. Gee. Wait, use this. That's right. On the ankle's all one piece. Whereas on this, you build the ankle from 2 or 3 different pieces. The ankle skirt. I just realized the subscribers didn't trigger my Alerts. I thought I had fixed that. For some reason, those aren't showing up in my activity feed either. I don't know why that is. I'll have to troubleshoot that, because when I was testing it, it worked. For some reason, the actual subscriptions don't seem to be triggering it. Maybe it's because it was during a bunch of others. Although my raid alert didn't go off either, did it? Maybe it's all borked. All borked. Yeah, hopefully having this being one piece makes sense, but also that's something I've definitely noticed on the like newer models. Newer models have a lot more like hollow, like all-encompassing pieces. Maybe it's something they learned how to better accomplish. So that was something fairly rare on the older kits I've done so far. Clean. Where do those go? Back this. One thing this kit's done a lot that I've noticed is like instead of having ball joints go into like round sockets, they have them going into like square holes or rails. Something you didn't see at all on the master kits very much. But it makes, I guess it works. Like square hole works as much as a rounded one, I guess. Just probably wears the beast slightly faster. That's actually not a bad ankle. Pretty similar range of motion to how this ankle is. Actually better. This one, but this one I think has yeah, this one is kind of a poor ankle. The actual Shenlong is better. Definitely show that off at the end here. Take the actual Shenlong off the post to compare it to its bigger self. So I want to also check out the design differences because these are from different source materials. It's the same mech in the story, but it's different. One's from the movie and one's from the TV show. Got some feet. Build some more of this leg. Get these legs done. Get the weapons done real quick. Then do that dragon. Pretty much the reason I picked up this little high grade kit. Because this, the master grade version of the Shenlong has the dragon on his arm, but it doesn't extend. But this high grade kit does. So we're seeing how it works and how it looks. Oh, I got talking when I was cutting. I don't actually know where these came from. Okay, I'm gonna set that aside and hopefully I'll pick it up for the episode later. 3 dangers of yapping while you're clipping. There we go. Should be a little better. Need them all up. Go. I believe this should be the knee joint put together here. Let's see this one. Knees. That's the range of motion of his knees. Pretty standard. Oh, that has a little hyperflex. Just a bit. PC8. Welcome back, Storytime. Time. Oh yeah, more PC8s. Snip, snip. Okay. Yeah, there's like no subframe on the lower leg. The lower leg is entirely made up of the armor plates. That's different. I just noticed that. Because you can see this guy has like an inner frame that the armor plates then like form around. Whereas this, the armor plates are part of the structure of the leg itself. Oh, weird. Okay. And it's just a peg on that to give it another joint. Oh, it's a different way to do it. 9, 11. Okay. What's on the front? Detail? That doesn't look bad at all, actually. Interconnecting lines there. Yeah, that doesn't look bad at all for the increased simplicity of it. Slides down over the top. Yeah, that knee joint does have a bit of hyper flexibility. Just like the arm joint did. Oh, pretty good. Almost got. I think they're almost done, actually. I think I just literally got to get the like hip joints in and like put them on. This up real quick here. Oh, okay. Sure. Yeah, they go good. I had mentioned there was another instance of it being fairly different from the Master Grade models, in that there's no inner frame on this bottom part. Like, this armor plate is actually the structure of the leg as well, whereas on the Master Grade here, you can see it has an inner frame that all the armor plates kind of attach onto. Oh, not at all. No worries whatsoever. We're almost on the legs, and then we'll get the shield and weapon done real quick, and then we'll be on the dragon arm. Slide that on. Oh, these legs are so tiny! Don't really get the full sense of it until they're all together, but they're so small. Wow. For comparison. Yeah, like the entirety of this leg is the same size as the big mech's like shin. Like shin and knee is the same size as his entire leg and foot. Oh, this is actually gonna be adorable when it's all together. I don't even know. I don't think any of their stands are actually small enough to have this guy in like a standing pose. Maybe if it attaches on the backpack somehow. But like the usual way you attach it is you attach it at the hip joint like this. But none of my stands will be able to go that low for a standing pose. They'll all be having like flying up in the sky, which isn't a bad thing. I don't mind that for a pose, but sucks that I don't. It doesn't suck, but it's unfortunate I don't have that option. I've heard the like Good Smile Company like figure stands are actually supposed to be pretty good for these little figures. They just have a little gripper that like grabs around the waist. Right here? Oh, B1. Ah, that was that piece I accidentally cut out earlier. Yeah. I was wondering where the hell this piece was because it wasn't on the sprue. I recognized the shape. Yeah, I think that we're talking about the same thing. I think that's mostly what Good Smile Company makes, is those little like figurines. They do like the pop-up braid series and stuff like that. I think that Chainsaw Man in my background, I don't know how well it actually. Yeah, it's probably really tiny on the screen. But I have the Chainsaw Man figure behind me that's from them. C6. Deep of a cut, but it should be okay. Not very well though. Just looks bad, isn't actually. So this goes into here. So that goes down into here. Correct? Yeah. That's pretty similar to how the Masquerade does it. Oh, pieces falling apart in my hand. Down. Push only the central part. There we go. And same for the other leg. That one is this. Oh, I just thought of another good challenge point redeem. I have my bag full of art from conventions for the last 2 or 3 years behind the couch over here. One of my challenge point will probably be to pull a random piece of art out of that bag. There's some really cool stuff there. Okay, you have legs. Oh, it's so cute. Comparison. Wait the camera a little bit. Yeah, I think we gotta get those side skirts on next. Don't, yeah. Oh, those are just 2 pieces. That's some simple side skirts. Ooh, stretch, stretch, stretch. Hey, sounds good. Some water as well. And complete. Thanks for the redeem there, storyteller. I've been drinking a lot of coffee, so I probably should balance it out with a bit of water. I'm not feeling too shit to eat later. Yeah, that's the first piece that went real wild. Yeah, got it. Oh, dropped it. Got it. Yeah, that's a real simple armor skirt. You just insert the hinge into a peg. Simplest one of these I've ever done. Oh, it goes in like super deep. Yeah, this like hip construction is really weird. The like actual like pelvis part is super narrow. Is it on there? Yeah, it's on there. Nice. It's not bad though. It does the trick. Wait, what? Why is that so loose? It's supposed to go up farther, is it? Oh, this plate is sliding, that's why. No. Opposite of what I wanted. Same. Okay. This is just how it is. Oh, side skirts on. Now, these weapons should be pretty simple, so let's do those quick. Then we're on to the arm. Can't get simpler than that. I think it just slides down. Yeah. Through the hole in the end. There we go. Goes quick. See how quick the shield is. Oh. Wait, was that Oh no, there's still one piece there. Oh, it's the jaws for the arm. Three-piece shield. It's simpler than that. Oh, there's a fourth piece. The piece that attaches it to the arm. B117. Small piece. Peg? Yeah, it's a peg. You want to make sure the narrow part's facing. Oh, I guess that counts as up. Seems like up is subjective because they're both the same. Get it at least aligned the right way that way. Go. That goes on the arm. There we go. Now's the time we've all been waiting for. To get that dragon arm on there. An empty sprue? That's an empty sprue. Hi y'all. What do we need for this piece? Piece from C. enough. Two. Only two with this one. Go. Detail color along the edge. Shoulder down. Now it's time to start building the chain. $224. I got my first couple kits just off Amazon, but I've from since then I found out that there's probably a store in a nearby city that would ship to you for not that much. Because you can go to, like, there are like kind of bigger online retailers you can go to, but generally I find all of those have a like markup on their products compared to what like a local shop will have. So my best suggestion would be just to check for shops in cities near cities that are near you, and see what their shipping rates are to you. Because the nice thing now is, like, most local shops have a pretty good website, so you can pretty much order anything in their stock off their websites. Like, I still actually haven't been to my local shop in person yet. I've only done business with them online. Screen C7. Yeah, as I said, I did get my first couple of kits off Amazon, but Amazon actually has quite a steep markup on a lot of these. I don't recommend actually getting kits from there anymore because it's such a blatant just markup on everything. Yeah, absolutely, probably, especially now that I've done one, I'd feel very comfortable recommending one of these like high grade kits for a beginner. Like I said, like, I don't have any experience with the entry grade, so that might be even better. But the, I don't, trying to think through the process. I didn't really have any struggles with this one like I've had with some of my last grade kits. All the small piece construction, usually that usually takes place in the head, really wasn't there. The head was actually pretty straightforward to put together. Oh, absolutely. Mike is the hobby that worked out because I got a lot of shelf space, not really a whole lot to show off on it. So looking for things to fill it with. Hey, first segment. So I'm just gonna be making a bunch of these and connecting them all together from here on out. C10. Oh, God, back posture's terrible right now. There we go. That's okay. Gotta make sure this is orientated the right way. Okay, exact correct facing that way. Oh no, 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 other piece. This piece. There we go. Yeah, orientated that way. This one doesn't matter, it's orientation. And then the cap. Another segment. Oh, what do you know? Another segment. Oh wait, no, this is the second segment. Got a little overeager. Oh, okay, so it has a like. Oh, that's neat. You can. I don't know how well. You probably can't see it on camera very well. But the sides of this peg has little slot, basically extensions, and the side of the hole has little slots on the side of it, so it fits together like a key. And then to keep it in place, you twist, and keeps it in place on the joint like that. That's pretty smart. C8. I need C9 for the next one too. Not quite done back there yet. Nice. Another elbow, nice and simple. Just gonna take a close look at the instructions here. Side armor. C6 and A2. That'll be the last one from this sprue, actually. Yeah, definitely don't get as many empty. Well, I guess there's only 6 sprues to begin with, so it's harder to get more empty sprues, since it's more likely all the parts are going to be on one of those sprues that you need at the last second. That's another one done. Go. This place hook up. That piece from that angle. Right. Here so. Yeah, just gotta push it on a little more. Where's that toothpick? Yeah, that's on there good now. Oh, could be better. Oh, there it goes. I felt it give. Nice. Yeah, nice and smooth. Oh, kind of not sure where any of this is going, which is kind of interesting to see. This is a high grade kit. Usually gets abbreviated as HG, but high grade is the technical name for them. No worries. Oh, little jaw. Flips up. Oh, this is coming together a little faster than I expected. It's looking good. This part goes. Oh, it has a similar attachment mechanism in the shoulder as it is before, where it has like the keyhole. Oh, I'm gonna be careful not to bend these ends. That goes. And once it's in, rotate to secure. Okay, bend it down. Folds up. Okay. And this thing has pegs on the side of it that go onto rails in the shoulder to secure it. So that's how the arm folds up into the shoulder. Slide the arm on the shoulder. Oop. There we go. Now, let's build the dragon face. Oh, I think this is the last piece from this color sprue. It is. Another dead sprue. Oh, here's the other decision. Do I want to put the sticker eyes on this dragon? Probably do. Let's take a look. So. Let's give it a shot. Sorry, concentrating quite a lot on what I'm doing here. Oh, it's pretty good. I was afraid the sticker was going to go flying off. Okay. That doesn't look like the worst. Let's do it again. That definitely takes a lot more focus than I've put into pretty much anything else in this kit so far, but... Oh man, this one went on nearly perfect right away. Yeah, that went way quicker than the first one. Just got lucky. Yeah, give it some little eyes. Oh, last one for this one too. 13. Empty sprue. Goodbye. Oh yeah, those stickers work pretty good. I don't know how well they show up on camera. A little too small to tell. Yeah, they actually turned out pretty well. Yeah, and this attaches on the arm right here. Hand time. Just skip ahead and check one thing real quick here. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to do that right in the mic. Okay, so it doesn't really matter which hand we use because it's going to come off anyway. But let's put a fist on there. Yeah, 27, 28. Yeah, I'm actually kind of impressed how well that worked. I might start giving stickers more of a shot. They are, but then again, I say a lot of the higher grade kits I'm used to using, they actually have a lot of the detail the stickers are trying to give in the actual like color differences. So I don't think it's as needed as much in those big model. It's these smaller models where they're working with less pieces, so all the pieces are monocolor. So it's harder to do small details without the stickers. Oh, shit. I forgot where I was. What's the number on the fist? 28. Yeah, I'm starting to think a lot of my issues I had with using stickers was because I kind of sucked at applying them. But that technique, it was actually the guy I rated the other night when I was doing the Buster Gundam stream. I rated him and sent, I mentioned I didn't use stickers much, and he gave me that suggestion of basically cutting down and rounding off one end of it. And then you basically use the pointy end, take the sticker off and apply it, and then use the rounded edge to kind of smooth it onto the piece. And it worked really well on this one. It was Cobalt, I believe his name was. Cobalt and some numbers. I don't remember the numbers off the top of my head. Oh, it's actually right there. Cobalt 2033 with 0 for these. Oh, yeah, I got that tip from him. This goes on. Arm goes on the model. There, we are all together. But looks like there's some extra pieces we can cut out for the arm extension thing to make it look even bigger. So I'm gonna get those cut out and ready first. C4. that it from this sprue? That's it from this sprue. Goodbye. Actually, I think it might be time for an audit. See if any of these pieces are left on these sprues are ones we need. Piece has 3 pieces remaining, 3 X's. So this one is technically empty as well. Number B2. 1, 2, 3 unneeded pieces there, 1 unneeded piece there, and 1 unneeded piece there. So yeah, this one's actually empty too. This one has hands, so almost definitely it's not going to be, because we can use those hands. But this piece here, is that unneeded? It is, as are these 3 pieces down here. And this 1 piece up here. But that's all hands. Cool, so technically empty. So, now let's look at this transformation gimmick. Right now, put the dragon hand out like that, and then extend it out like that, sneaking all different ways. But there's also the option. Yeah, that's pretty long. That's much longer than the other one. But there's an extender option. That's what these are. So for even more reach, let's clean these up real quick. Yeah, like the actual design of the dragon head on that one I think is a little better, but the actual arm design is way better on this, I think. As I said, like even in the movie, I'm pretty sure that one has the extending arm gimmick that this one does. I think they just didn't bother to implement it in the model. Yeah, these all cleaned up. A little more clean on that one. Yeah, the extending bits will go in. Okay, I'm just gonna follow the instructions exactly as it is telling me. Yeah, it makes use of that keyhole function to disconnect them. Then disconnect the next one, same way. We'll then bring in the extender, attach it as you did the original. Then bring this piece back. Lock the same way. And another extension. That. Even take the fist out. More extension. Yeah. Oh, although the joints, I am noticing the joints are not as stiff as they could be. So if I haven't, it's actually good right now. It seems like it's only in certain orientations it's a little weaker. But Yeah, that's, with the extensions, it's way out there. Oh, yeah. Look how far away you can make that arm go. That's cool though. I'm not sure if I'll have used these extensions very much in my posing. So it makes it a little unwieldy. So it gives it so many different little jaunt points, but I'll definitely put it out in probably the standard extender mode without the extra extenders. It's nice that it's actually so easy to add and take them, put them in. Yeah, and then it'll all fold back into the shoulder. Oh, other way around. There we go. Yeah, and it all folds up and stores in the shoulder. Actually, that part I like. I like the fact that it's actually way less obtrusive. Oh, and the dragon folds back, back. Put this back on there. Very neat. Yeah, I've been really impressed with this little kit. I guess it's time for compare and contrast, isn't it? Oh, it's so adorable. Look at the size of one of my hands. Yeah, let's grab that other Shenlong. Do some compare and contrast. Different designs. Shield's much bigger on this one. Let's fold this up for now. Yeah. These are both Shenlongs. That one. That's good enough. Fine. Let's make it even then. There, we're holding the pike about the same. So we can see where the designs. Oh, that's coming off a little bit. Oh, the, like, fin on this dragon part is blocking me from putting pressure on the part I need to put pressure on. So I need to bend it so I can actually attach it. There it goes. Okay. So this is definitely thinner. Less definition in the legs, obviously, but a lot of the detail points are the same. So it's not bad there. Less color differentiation down near the feet. You can see where the gray and the yellows here, where this doesn't have it. That's not bad. Legs are pretty similar design. Obviously, way simplified design around the crotch piece. Simple single plates, whereas there's separated plates and centerpieces. Backpack's about the same, not too different. A little more detail. Shoulders are actually very similar. It's pretty much the exact same shoulder design. A little more, the blue's a little more pronounced on this, but it's pretty much the same. These are supposed to be like bright green. So this actually has maybe a little more color on the shoulders. Yep, torso piece is pretty much designed the same. This one actually has a little more color around the collar than this one does, which is nice. Actually, if this had a little yellow collar like this, it would look a lot better. Yeah, head's more simplified, but not by a whole lot. Obviously, it's got the pitchfork rather than the spear or the lance, or what was that? Falchion, probably. Yep, smaller shield too. More of a buckler. Oh, now it's the part I care about. I care about everything, but dragon arm. Top jaw, bottom jaw, like that, but no extension gimmick. Like that's as far out as it can go. But the head itself is a lot more over designed, and it actually has the like flamethrower ports that it's supposed to. Whereas this thing just has it modeled into it. This one's definitely built up. Like I actually like the look of this head quite a bit more than that head, but it lacks the extension gimmick. And I did put stickers on it, but I can go back. I'll probably go back and do that now that I have a method of doing it properly. Yeah, in comparison. Well, let's put it out at normal first. I really like that this has like a locking pin, so that when it's folded up, this arm just works like a normal arm. It's nice. One thing I do like in this is how it has a recessed spot for the hand. So the hand actually, you don't actually need to remove the hand to make it look good. One downside on this one, I wish that maybe they could have made this piece like fold down a little bit over top of it. But once again, more complexity. Yeah, in the same pose as the master grade kit. So I actually, because of the extending part, I can't extend the arm out sideways like this guy has. That's about as far as I can go. But yeah, as I can say, I actually really like the look of this head a lot more. But it lacks the ability to do this, which makes up for a lot. Yeah, it's a cool mechanic. But yeah. Arm back up. Yeah, that's actually amazing how easy like folds back in too. Like that is super quick to retract and put it back in its proper spot. If this did have an arm extending mechanic, I can guarantee you it would not be as clean as this. It would be really overcomplicated and probably take you a lot of posing to get it extended, de-extended. Whereas this is like it's back to its original state already. So there's definitely something to be said for the like simplicity of this model, working heavily at its advantage. And it's so cute. Look at it. Like even just this, it doesn't like to keep on because it's so bulky. I very much have to be very cognizant of how I have it positioned before I try and fold it. Otherwise, it'll just pop right off the arm. Whereas it's literally built on the arm. Like I'd have to consciously try and remove that head from that arm, I think, to get it off on that one. What is going on here? Why is this not? Oh, because it's underextended. I see. There it goes. It fell off. Yeah. And even that, like, that's in storage mode. It isn't clean. It's still just kind of sitting there. This definitely wins points for having cleanness of storing away its arm. But it's easier to do that with a simpler design. You can't ignore that. A lot of the points that make this one not as good are because they went more ambitious. I don't really want to blame people for. Yeah. Final little comparison between the two. Yeah, like this ball grip, like there's it's not like this all sunshine. Like I noticed a lot of the joints in this can be a little loose compared to like stuff on this is rock solid most of the time in terms of joints. Yeah, there's a comparison of the two kits. It is cool seeing them side by side like that. Yeah, I don't know. I actually, the more I look at this, I kind of like the size of this model too. Like those are cool for sure. Like I think I'm probably gonna stick mostly to those for my display models, but this has like it's like small cars. It's like Hot Wheels. It's like miniature things. Like miniature versions of fairly complex machines are cool, and which these are miniature, but this kind of makes it more similar to like cars and model trains and stuff. Whereas I don't really get that sense from those. Those remind me more of like a statue or a like display figure. Whereas this seems more like the weird like miniature versions of things you get somewhat. It has a lot of charm to it. But yeah, 10 o'clock on the dot. That actually worked out pretty much perfect. So now we know for the future, if you ever need a one-off, I can just pick up one of these models. Yeah, I'm really happy with how this turned out, and this was actually a lot of fun, especially having to compare it to how the other models went. But yeah, that's probably going to be it for me. Let me just take a quick look here. Let's see if anyone we can raid. Okay. Discord crash. Let's see. Try and send it over to another gunpla builder if we can. Oh, looks like we got someone watching Freedom and building a Gundam. Let's go with them. Those are two things I like, so. I'm gonna send you on over to them. Oh yeah, and as you can see there, please check out my YouTube. That's where all my stream VODs will be going, and where my I'll eventually do some more edited clips. I have one edited YouTube clip up there, but I'm planning to do more as time goes on. But yeah, hope you'll join me again on Saturday or Sunday for a game stream, and then please join me next Tuesday when we'll have our little affiliate celebration stream and start in on Armored Core. But yeah, I'm gonna send you along to this guy here. Or actually, I just noticed Cobalt streaming, so I'm gonna send you on to him because he's the one who gave me that sticker tip. So I want to send you all his way. Yeah, I hope you guys have a lovely rest of the evening, and I hope you'll join me again for my next stream. Take care, everyone.